Have you been feeling the universe is a little off recently? Well, you are correct because there are 3 retrogrades happening. Not one, not two, but 3. And this is not the Mercury retrograde that you hear so much about. And the only reason why you hear so much about the Mercury retrograde is because it happens 3 times a year, every year. That one is a beast. But that's not what's happening right now. Retrograde is when the planets move backwards in certain signs. Well, Mars is retrograding in Cancer, and that happens once every 2 years. Then you have Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, and you have Uranus retrograding in Taurus. Mars retrograding in Cancer, it started around January the 6th and doesn't end until February the 23rd. So buckle up, buckle in, and be prepared because this is where you work out those inner shadow work issues. You do any unresolved issues that you might have been burying or hiding, they're going to come back up towards you. You might be just sitting there, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about stuff you haven't thought about in 10, 20, 30 years. That's because of the Mars retrograde in Cancer. Now, what can I say to help? I say take a step back, breathe. Try to think of why things are rubbing you wrong way and how they are coming about. Think, where did this feeling come from? And always, always, always try to communicate openly with people. Don't get irritable because they're saying something you don't like. Most people are unaware of how they're coming across. Also, be patient. Be patient with yourself and be patient with others. I know during this time it's hard to find patience and execute them. Believe me, I know. But this is the time where you kind of have to. Because if you work out these unresolved issues that keep bubbling to the surface, it can have a long lasting effect during this time. As I said, this happens once every 2 years. So these issues could be resolved for life if you actually sit with them, verify where they're coming from and why. Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, it started about October the 9th and doesn't end until February the 4th. And this also is dealing with shadow work and illuminates the potential for both great and it can be great. But it's not going to feel so great until you try to work on those issues inside. I suggest saging everything around you, sage your environment, sage your car, sage your workplace if you can, sage anywhere you spend most of your time, clear out all the negative issues. I'll try to give you a demonstration on how to sage places. This is not going to be a short retrograde, as it is only January the 25th, January the 24th right now. You still have a couple of more weeks to a month of this retrograde. So working on these issues is my best advice because burying them, they're just going to keep coming back up during this time. Now, Uranus retrograding in Taurus is actually the best one of them all. But unfortunately, it ends sooner than the rest of them. It's going to end January the 30th. It deals with progressiveness, innovation, and freedom. Now, why would they put these 2 retrogrades with a good one? I have no idea, but there is some good in retrogrades. Unfortunately, there are 2 introspect ones. There's 2 dealing with issues on top of the Uranus retrograding in Taurus. So those will be the good times and the good moments. And then when, your tire goes flat or somebody says something to you off the wall, that's the other 2 retrogrades, unfortunately. The yin and yang of life. During the Taurus retrograde, you're going to want to reevaluate your finances, reevaluate your values, reevaluate your standards. See if you've made too high of a standards or too low of a standards. See if you could do something better in your finances. Maybe you could save more money somewhere. Maybe you could do a little more mindfulness training, meditation. I am a big promoter of meditation. I'm a big promoter of Stoic philosophies. If now is the time to get into those things, if you are having trouble decompartmentalizing from all the negative that's going on around you, it brings you back to kind of the yin and a yang effect. Also, prayer. I can't leave out the prayers. Sorry for the non-prayers out there, but prayer definitely helps me through a lot of things, especially when I'm meditating. I meditate on a prayer. I feel so much better, so relieved afterwards. Also, find things that you like to do. I feel shuffling these cards makes me feel calm and more connected to the earth. I know it's cold outside in most places around the United States, so you can't go ground yourself outside or hug a tree like you normally could in the summertime or the spring. But try to ground yourself the best way you know how. If you have wood floors in your house, that's a way of grounding yourself, walking barefooted on the wood floors. Sage. I would suggest saging everything, clear all negativity out, and do a little journaling. Journaling can help you through these times where the retrograde is more harsh. Since the Mars retrograde in Cancer is going to be happening until February the 23rd, and he is going to be the one who lasts the longest out of all the three that are happening right now. The one that's going to stick around the longest is Mars in Cancer. And that's the one that you feel the delays, the frustration, the anger. Don't let that take over you. That's why you got to be patient. Start doing the mindfulness training. Also, with this new moon coming, you have to center yourself. You have to ground yourself. Otherwise, this is just going to keep being a reoccurrence for you. It's going to keep happening, keep happening. You're always going to come out, and there's always going to be something. Find a jingle or a song that makes you happy and sing it. I do "This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine." I do that over and over in my head. If I can't stop thinking about negative thoughts, I'll start singing a jingle in my head. If you have tarot cards, I suggest do a reading or two on yourself. Do something that makes you happy. Do a little learning experiment. If you haven't learned about any of the stuff I talked about, now's a good time to research them. This is the time. But don't let the anger, the frustration, the irritability, don't let it get to you. With 3 retrogrades happening at the same time, now is the time to work on those issues. This is the best time because once you do, they will go away for life. And I can only say that because I have been working on issues for years. Nothing comes overnight. Nothing that's really good comes overnight. Patience is a virtue that I've been working on for all of my years. So, with that being said, sage yourself, do some journaling, do some meditation, do some prayer. But these 3 retrogrades is going to be around for a little while. And February the 23rd is a good jump from now. So those unresolved issues are not going to resolve themselves. Sit with yourself, sit with your people, talk it out openly, be patient and kind with yourself and with others. That's all I can say about these retrogrades. I do personal readings. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to inbox me. Stay safe and this retrogrades.